You're listening to Metal Gear Resurrections. Our intro and outro is by Fingers Music. Podcast cover art is by Buckflip Sims.
On this episode, I'm joined with Adamska, aka Mr. Cropes, as we discuss the Keeleys, gaming landscape, and a little bit of everything else.
America, fuck yeah! Coming together to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America, fuck yeah! Freedom is the only way, yeah. Terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America, fuck yeah! So lick my bird and suck on my balls, America, fuck yeah! What you gonna do when it comes for you now? It's the dream that we all share. It's the hope for...
Oh, let me tell you, I was singing along with the song, so... McDonald's! Fuck
It's
yeah!
like, where the fuck is the stop sharing screen? Like, you
Got
stopped
it.
I was gonna say, you stopped doing this for a while and you fucking forget.
Oh, man, yeah. Zoom seems like a pain in the butt.
Ugh. And now they put AI shit in here.
Oh, it's nano machines for Zoom.
I can only imagine what it would do, like, if I recorded with, like, AI help. Like, I don't know what it would do. Maybe, like...
Try and fix the sound and alienate
Yeah.
your voice.
It'll probably, like, change my vocabulary. Like, you gotta make him sound more intelligent.
Yeah, that's all right.
It'll probably
That's
be
not
like,
what we're here for.
do like an episode of Frasier. So what's up, man?
Not a whole lot. How are you?
I mean, not much. The holidays like fucking took me out. Like,
Oh,
I
my
got
God,
waylaid.
Yeah.
Yep, it was all holidays. That's all it was.
Yep,
just-
we've had nothing but snow here lately.
Oh yeah, you probably got like a shit ton of snow. I can only imagine.
Yeah, thankfully not a lot, but not a lot in Kansas is still enough to make everybody go topsy-turvy and shut down schools and all that. So
Yeah, that bitch.
it's
It's like-
it's so dumb.
I mean, I think we got like maybe like a 2 inches, and they fucking closed schools where I am. And I was like,
Yeah,
"Ah,
that's-
make the kids go out there in 2 inches of snow. Fuck that.
Yeah, they shut down one of the school, or they shut down the district here
Mm.
Tuesday because the building could not keep up. The heat could not keep up.
Oh well, that's important. You can't freeze people.
That's right.
While
they
they're
can't just
learning.
wear coats all day or hoodies or something. It's not like kids these days don't wear sweats all the time, anyways.
I mean, they'll probably show up in pajamas to school.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they do, anyways. That's like a normal Tuesday.
Yeah, so things haven't changed since I've been in high school.
Nah.
For school in general.
Yep, nope. Everybody's dressed for college these days, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. America's biggest daycare.
Yeah. Oh God.
For adults.
It's terrible. Yes.
Yeah.
For drunken adults, drunken young adults, more like it.
Oh, especially in the party cities. Hell yeah, man. And it's like, becomes like VD capital.
Yeah, it does. Everybody loves it.
It's like, hey, your kids are learning. And by the way, they're also learning to, like, you know, safe sex is probably a good thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
top priority there.
Yes. Don't bang everything that walks, no matter how much fun you think that sounds. It's gonna,
Yes.
gonna hurt you.
Yeah, don't be like Big Boss, like who's just like fucking everybody left and right on the base. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the doctors in the med bay were like, oh
Yeah.
Jesus, here we go, ring them all around, gotta shoot them with like fucking penicillin in their asses.
Pump them again. Pump them again.
Shoot it.
They had plenty of cotton swabs on that base.
I can only imagine like Revolver's like, hold up, you're gonna put the con swab where?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
do it. And it's like, but sir,
right.
you haven't had sex on anybody, like just do it.
It's fine. I like torture.
He's like, I like the way it feels. And as they're doing it, he'll probably just yell, snake!
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. He's like, oh, this is inspiring for the next person I torture. Thanks. I'll do this.
Oh man, so where should we start?
Start at the top.
You
From the
want to
top,
talk?
make it drop.
You want to talk about the game, awards that happened like a while back?
You mean don't talk for more than 30 seconds awards?
Yeah, where it was like, oh, thank you, and then it's like, all right, boop, pops up,
Yeah.
like get the fuck off the stage
Yeah.
now, and it's
What
like,
a mess.
then it segues like, all right, now for the next 20 minutes, here's commercials of video game trailers and other shit you probably already know.
But we didn't want anybody talking, period, ever.
Exactly. He's like, oh, I need advertisers. Like, the money's coming. And then I love it how he just like doesn't point the finger at himself. It's his show. It's his to run.
Yeah.
It's his award show. You might as well call it the Keeleys and just have like a Simpsons thing where it goes like the Keeleys, and it's just like him rushing home to get to Hideo.
Yeah. God.
But he put the blame on I think one of the producers that ran the fucking award show. He's like, I was like, no, I wasn't responsible for that. Like, I left that to like people are higher up.
Yeah, me, executive producer, not responsible. Can't tell anybody on the job to do their job differently.
And there was also like reporting that there was protests outside the building, which I didn't even know.
No, that's crazy.
Until I heard about it on social media, and then other people. That's how like it started. Like people were like taking pictures and videos and showing it through social media.
Yeah.
Where they were like, they're basically picketing for like all the layoffs that happened.
Sure.
Which wasn't which I'm pretty sure that also coincided with making sure like, all right, everybody has a set time limit because someone's might say something.
Somebody will say something. Yeah.
Which I forgot who it was, but I think it was for like the people who were behind, I think Baldur's Gate 3. I think he had something in his speech that he like had a whole thing, and then he put it on social media like, this is my speech. I was going to mention a little bit about it.
Oh, do you mean the man who would have also like shadow dropped Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox and touched on the layoffs? That guy?
Yeah.
Not Spin Binky. Yeah, what a show.
It was odd. It was weird. And then there was Gonzo.
There's always Gonzo. Just bring back the days of the Razor man. Like, come on.
I mean, I keep forgetting that these awards have been around for a while. Like for some reason in my head, I thought it was like maybe like this was like their 7th one or their 5th one, whatever. No, it's been on for a while. Back to like the Spike TV days. I forgot all about that. That like it blanked my mind until I heard like other people talking about it. Go like, holy shit! It's like it's been around that long.
Yeah, we used to watch this on cable television.
Like on Spike TV, like fucking Spike TV is not even around anymore.
No,
I don't think kids know about Spike TV.
Hell no. That's probably for the best, but no.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was the memorable moments of seeing like Stan Lee in like a Revolver Ocelot outfit. Right. That's like one of the most memorable things I could think about if you're a Metal Gear fan. But like just other stuff that happened, but I don't remember. Stan Lee is the only thing that pops in my head because I'm both that and comic book fan.
Right. So it's like the fun has been replaced by this just becoming Winter E3. Like,
yeah, that's what it is. E3 might as well said, we've given up. We've given our name to Jeff. He's going to take it. And it has become the Game Awards. Like, there you go, people.
Right. Because you've got Summer Game Fest and then the Game Awards. And like, it's just, he basically does it all. And I mean, I commend the guy for making a life career out of basically being was a game journalist and now just, hits up all his game developer buddies all the time, and he's like, hey, if you got something, I'll show it for you. But I mean, at the same time, it's like you're a presence in this industry, really, Keeley. It's time to maybe do that for a change and not just post on Twitter that you're playing with the new Apple VR thing. Like, I don't believe that next year will be better. I mean, we really ruminated on the Hideo Kojima factor in 2015, and now here we are just like, nothing matters.
Oh my god, they gave him like the floor. They gave him the actual floor with the door, and I was like, hold up, you cut off people's speeches?
Yes.
And like, I like the guy. I'm not in love with him, but like I enjoy his works. Right. But like, you gotta be fair. You can't be, that's way too like, this is my best friend, just let him do whatever he wants. And then on top of that, you gotta translate. So he's gotta talk, then the translator's gotta talk. That's more time you're eating up.
Yeah.
Like,
it's time to split the show. Like, it's really time to split the show in half. Like, it's, if you want to do an hour-long award show, because that's really all this would be, or a 90-minute award show, and then you do an hour full of like game reveals. Because he even said there's no world premieres, and it's like, shit, that's what you had.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, you can do what every other awards do. they'll do they do technical awards. If you want to watch that, I believe some of them like stream it online. You could go
Yeah.
watch that if you want. People do show up to those awards, that part of the awards, and then
Right.
coinciding, you have the main awards as well.
Yeah.
Like split them up. You know, WWE learned their lesson from WrestleMania. You split that shit up.
Yeah. You know,
Don't
it's
do that
not like
one night.
the Oscars isn't going to do Best Actor as an aside. Like, how do you drop Best RPG, Baldur's Gate 3, and it's just like just a cliff
Yeah.
note of the whole thing.
I mean, if the Oscars did what the Game Awards did, it would be like, oh, Martin Scorsese is going up there at the podium. He's winning his second award. And it's like, oh, shut up, Marty. We got to put
Yep.
like 20 minutes of like fucking,
Right.
here's Apple TV, Netflix movies. Like,
Yeah.
no, it wouldn't work. The whole place will go fucking crazy. They'll riot in
Yeah.
LA.
They
Like,
they would.
They rioted because of his movies. What was it? Last Temptation of Christ. They rioted for that. And
Yeah.
they'll riot for him if they cut him off. Like, all right, come on. Like, you got to do. You also have to be transparent. Like, was it okay thing? Like, oh, here's the PT door. I'm like, all right, you made everybody like, all the fans like have like huge like they geeked out boners popping out.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
hear like the popping sounds in the room. Like, oh shit, like come on. And then obviously I can see someone behind him. I didn't know who
Yes.
it was gonna be. I was like, oh, here's his next best friend.
Right. I was thinking it was
Peel.
going to be. I just figured it'd be Del Toro with
Yeah,
him
I
doing
thought it was gonna be him.
Thor. I was thinking it'd be him specifically, but I don't know. I think like the Jordan Peele reveal.
Yeah.
Anybody who follows these guys on social media, maybe not necessarily like Jordan Peele. I don't really think he does a whole lot on social media, or his
Not
Monkey
really.
Paw production
Yeah.
company just kind of shares clips from his movies every now and then, or finds ways to talk about the monkey from Nope.
Mhm.
But yeah, like the fact that when you see these two dudes hanging out and Jordan Peele and all that, it's like, I want to get into video games sometime, and you know that Kojima wants to get into movies sometime. It's like, man, what are we doing?
I kind of saw like it was coming. Like it wasn't a big surprise because you would
Right.
see them like hanging out together at the studio or like at the States. Like you see
Yeah.
it through social media. Like he hangs with all these people. Like, oh, okay, here's Jordan Peele. Like, cool. They're
Yeah.
doing something together. Awesome. Like maybe it'd be cool and something freaky and scary at the same time. That's awesome.
Right.
But
I mean,
I don't know.
here we are. I found the speech like to be pretty touching. Like that
Mhm.
did kind of emotionally resonate with me for a minute, where it's, he was Kojima's talking about his
Yeah.
life of being, a movie fan and all that, and talking about Peele being a video game and all. But I found that was a neat moment, but again, this probably wasn't the place for that moment.
Yeah, no. I mean, you have your own platform. You could have actually done like a press conference if you wanted to, your own thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the studios, whichever one you want to pick, LA or like Japan.
Right.
You
Yeah.
choose what you want, kind of
Yeah.
thing. But I don't know. I don't even remember what else happened. I mean, and then Christopher Judge is like shitting all over like fucking Call of Duty. Meanwhile,
Oh, yeah.
like the world's already shit on them. Like, so you want to do it at this time, put the spotlight on them again
Yes.
for what everybody already shitted on them. And so that would lead me to believe like he made the crack about like, oh, that's another studio that won't hire me. And I'm saying to myself, well, if I'm Activision, I would say, well, how about we just don't go to these awards anymore?
Right. Right.
If you're gonna like, if that's how you're gonna treat us, you're gonna treat us as developers. And by the way, you cut off everybody.
Yes.
It was like it was part of like the whole thing was like I thought the whole thing was supposed to be about the game developers and like let them express joy
Right.
for winning these awards and such. And it's like, all right,
Nope,
take
not
a
this
shot,
time.
take a shot at the Call of Duty people. Like meanwhile, I mean the person whoever's in charge is the person who should be being laid blame, not the
Yes.
people who are working.
No.
Doing the work. Like, now, don't shit on them. Put on the shit on the man who's in charge.
Right.
Or maybe not a man,
100%.
could be a woman. I don't want to say, but
Well,
for this
sure.
case, probably is a man. God knows what that studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how much really Activision plays into much of this, because it's not like really, aside from Warzone, they're not getting called out for much these days, at least at the Game Awards
I
specifically.
mean, no. I mean,
But
could have talked about how in California they basically, like, I think it was about over 100 million was set aside from the lawsuit
Yes.
for everything that they've done wrong.
Right.
And
then
this,
I feel
this
like if you-
judge was like, I'm gonna rake you over the coals and make an example out of you, because this is not how you behave in the real world.
Yeah. And then I think if they were to try to make that point, then you'd have all of Microsoft that would pull out now as being the benefactors for Activision.
Yeah.
The Herald of Darkness, the Old Gods of Asgard part was
Oh my god, I was fucking
You know-
running all over my house. I was going, oh my god, they're doing it. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is fucking amazing. My wife's like, what the fuck is going on? And she sees it and she's like, is this from a game? I go like, it's the best
Yeah.
game
oh yeah.
by far. But I
Right.
can say, yeah.
And I mean, like, it's weird that was the most fun thing of the evening. It
Yeah.
almost seemed like the whole thing was like coming to swell up at that moment.
Mhm.
The Kojima thing wasn't fun. It was exciting, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like a fun moment. It was such an interesting thing. I mean, I think the cool announcement aside from Kojima's thing was Arcane working on Blade.
Oh,
a third
yeah.
person Blade at that, which is different for that studio.
Yeah, I was gonna say, going back to like, I'm a comic book fan, and Blade is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
His comics are always short-lived, and I'm like, come on, where's the game? Like, this is like the material alone. It's like, I like Spider-Man, but like, where's
Mhm.
Blade? Like, give me the dark
Mhm.
Marvel, like supernatural shit.
Yes.
It's like, I enjoy that a lot.
I
Yeah.
think Hello Games coming out with a new game that's just as, if not more, filled with more aspirations than No Man's Sky was surely not going to bite anybody in the ass.
Oh shit!
I've yet to play God of War Valhalla, even though I hear it's pretty fucking
Yeah.
good. And then what else? I'm kind of like scrolling through here.
I'm so behind. I'm still on the fucking first God of War game. Like, that's how behind I am on these games. I have
Hey,
backlogs, and like,
man,
it's come to a point where, like, in real life, I'll just go around the house like talking like Kratos, like new Kratos, and just
Yeah,
look
boy.
at it. I'm like, daughter, come
Yeah.
here, girl, daughter.
girl. Yeah.
It's like, we must
I-
find your mother. Kind of thing.
I was never a fan really until these last two, and I played. I
Yeah.
played 1, 2, 3 on fucking
Yeah.
hard mode, and it's
Mhm.
just they went from thankfully being shitty action slashers to something a little bit more. I probably just
Yeah.
pissed off a lot of people saying that PlayStation 2 and PS3 God of War was shitty.
like,
but-
what the fuck you say?
Yeah. Just not for me, and I beat my head against him for a while.
Oh yeah.
I have tried to get into, Game Awards, Game of the Year, Baldur's Gate 3, because I got to the end of the year and I was like, all right, I've got this big, giant blind spot to close out the year. And have the week off. It's like, I should try it.
Yeah.
So I'm
See how it is.
still kind of at odds with the game. I can see why it gets all the accolades that it
Oh, yeah.
has, but I don't know if I could think of a more non-Adam game than Baldur's Gate 3.
I mean, people like lost their shit because I think a lot of people online expected Spider-Man, and I think
Oof.
superhero fatigue has hit movies, but has hit everywhere. Like,
Mhm.
it's a good to great game.
Yeah.
You changed it up with like kind of like this gliding kind of flying thing.
Sure.
And so you added that, and I think it's just like, people are just tired of like superheroes, and they want something somewhat outside of it, like originality. Like, like I can understand, like, Baldur's Gate 3, like that's also a good game too.
Yeah.
And deserve it so winning that title. And people were just like, oh my god, how can you not do that for Spider-Man 2? And I'm like, well, it's Spider-Man. Like, come on, like,
Yeah.
what more can you tell me about Spider-Man that like I don't know.
think right. I think Spider-Man, like, not only do you have like the Marvel superhero fatigue,
Yeah.
you were telling a Spider-Man story that we've been told pretty
Yeah.
fucking often,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then open world fatigue. Like,
Mhm.
you know, as much as that map is not a lot bigger, it's still, you know, a hair bigger. And then even with the glide, it's like
Mm.
as much as people from our generation loved playing Tony Hawk, like I think that's why a lot of us really love these Spider-Man games, because it just feels good to play.
Mhm.
But you know, when they don't change up much aside from a glide, it's like, what do you know,
What are you doing?
you can glide from one
Yeah.
side of the town to the next, but that's not, you do that once and you're like, all right, cool, I did it, but you're not going to rely on that all the time. But I think for Spider-Man, and almost the same that I could really say for Baldur's Gate 3, is they're both technical marvels.
Mhm.
Maybe I should have found a different word for marvel. Like they're technical, like they're impressive technically. I mean, on many different
Yeah.
aspects, you know, the ability to fast travel in Spider-Man 2 at like the drop of a hat, the fact that they have a glide suit and it doesn't make the game chug.
Mhm.
And I played that on the fidelity mode
Mhm.
with the VRR enabled. So I mean, it looked pretty damn cool. But yeah, there's really not a whole lot that I could say about Spider-Man 2 that I couldn't say about Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I mean, what you did was like you took Spider-Man 1, and then you took Spider-Man Miles Morales, and then you added like this glide thing.
Yeah.
And just changed up like the villains and the
Right.
a little bit of tweaking to the combat system. You added more,
Yeah.
but still kind of the same.
Yeah. A little bit. I
Like
mean,
switch it up. Like if you did like say like you were doing like, all right, we did Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. All right, what's next? Well, instead of Spider-Man 2, you could do like what's been leaked, Wolverine.
Right.
Oh, okay, you went from Spider-Man to Wolverine. Like the next one could be like a totally different character
Yeah.
from the Marvel world. Like that could have changed it up, switched it up.
Right.
kind
That
of thing.
that leak
I don't
is
know.
insane, man. I mean, I just
Oh,
the
Someone
amount of
got-
stuff coming out of that.
either someone got pissed from being laid off and told somebody like this is what you can do to get such and such.
Yeah.
Basically, I think you pissed somebody off. You pissed either a whole group of hackers or you pissed an ex-employee, and that's happening all around now with all these massive layoffs. All these ex
Oh yeah.
employees are just like finding ways like, you know what, you fucked me, fuck you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And that's just human nature. You know, like I don't
Yeah.
see like, you know, that's all. Yeah, you should do that. Like, give it to the man. Like,
Right.
no, because if you get caught and you get in trouble, that could, you know, be pretty damaging to you. Especially if you want
Oh,
to
yeah.
keep working in that field, and also like God knows they'll probably fucking sue you for whatever
Everything.
X amount of money. Like, I'm sure they're gonna take your house now. Shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
bye, kind of thing.
You know, thinking back to kind of right around the same time that the Insomniac thing happened, all of the news about the kid who
Mm.
hacked Rockstar, you know, and got that GTA 6 leak. You know, that
Yeah.
kid is basically in a medical hospital for the rest of his life if he doesn't find a way to kind of make reparations with himself and the world. But you know, it is kind of one of those things where you do the crime, you do the time, and that time,
much.
depending on what your crime, the extent of it is insurmountable.
I mean, you could have been like a villain from like fucking the Showtime show Billions, and be like, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Russia and go to like a Russian farm, and we're
Right.
gonna hack from overseas, and you can't touch me, kind of shit. Like,
Yeah.
don't do it. You're in the stateside, and like you can't cover your tracks.
No,
In this sense, like, well, don't do it if you don't want to do the time. Let's start with that.
yeah, don't.
This is like real
Don't-
crime shit.
Yes, yeah, it looks cool on TV.
Yeah.
It looks, you know, I'm in. You know,
Like
that kind of
ma-
stuff.
Yeah, they made movies about it like in the '90s. Like, hey, everybody remembers hackers.
Yeah,
Like, remember that fucking movie? Like, oh, it looks so cool being a hacker. Maybe I want to do that. Everybody's
Right.
somewhat like, there's somewhat like, everybody's kind of good looking. Oh, look, it's Angelina Jolie. Like, oh yeah, I kind of get this world. Like, no, it's not how it is in real life.
yeah.
Nah.
Or like finding out that, you know, Fast and Furious crew in the original one was actually just jacking like DVD players and TVs. Like, come on, it's really not that cool. I mean,
Oh,
you could probably
shit.
find something.
No, even
Yeah.
when I was gonna say you just mentioned that. I was like, that was even cool when I fucking saw the movie. I was like, hold up, like they're fucking stealing DVD players.
Yeah,
Like,
Panasonics, man.
This
Yeah.
fucking sucks.
Yeah. You know, it's the kind of thing where it's like you have all of this capacity to do things that are harmful, but you can, you know, with a computer, you can change people's lives. Not for the worse. I don't know, just crazy. I wish that 2024 will be a better year for the gaming industry on a whole. I mean, but you know, it comes with the fact that not only do games take forever to come out, or sorry, not to come out, but like to develop, and they're just so fucking expensive. Like that's a large part of it, that they're just so fucking expensive. I mean, I don't even want to imagine how much Grand Theft Auto 6 will cost by the time it comes out.
Probably where if it's well, maybe not exaggerating, maybe it could be true, like because from like the business end, like people who are like insiders like looked at they look at the market. I think what it was like, if it's not like a huge mega seller, it will be very damaging to Rockstar to the point of near bankruptcy.
Right.
That's what there's. So I can see that, like, because you're putting a lot of time into this game.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, it's good to have a company like Rockstar that can do that, because you know that they'll make that back without any issue whatsoever. You know, it's not like they're releasing a Grand Theft Auto every year or two, and they're not going down the Activision route or anything like that, where you know, this is I think maybe 2 years in a row almost or something that Call of Duty's not been the top selling game.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk on how fucking weird or problematic it is for Hogwarts Legacy to be the one to dethrone it, but I mean, it's just Activision should maybe take the hint and say it's time to back off. Even Ubisoft has done that with their, you know, what were annual releases.
Yeah, and it wasn't for a while. They used to do that. They used to have like one studio that did like, this is the main Call of Duty, like the top tier shit, and then they had a secondary studio. It's like, all right, this is like the B titles, like, you know, like Black Ops, stuff like that, like stuff that's like not related to the main stories that they're connected.
Right. Yeah.
So they were kind of like going like, you do this one, then like, all right, a couple years later, you do that one, and then go back and forth. Like, no, every year, go. Like, no, it's too much. Way too fucking much. Too quick, too fast. And I don't know how you expect to get any kind of return on that, like pumping all that money into all this development. But, you know, if, you know, with so many people being laid off, and if you want to make a big splash, like, you know, I'm not gonna say like it could be any company, because I know Amazon's already in it. If Apple wanted to get involved, and they have the money, and they have like, you know, the insurmountable money in the war chest to like do whatever the fuck they want, they can just like gobble up all these like laid off people and be like, let's just fucking make a big ass studio of our own and just get into this world. And I can see that happening, but I don't think they would. I think we're content with just media, like movies and TV.
Right.
Kind of thing.
You know, because Amazon's tried, what was their MMO, New World, I think, like their kind of colonialism MMO, like that didn't last long, and I think they realized even with things like Amazon Luna, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a company full of trillions of dollars if you don't actually have vision. You know, and I think Amazon learned very quickly that not only did people were people tired of the MMOs, but they were starting to get tired, and probably still are, of live service games.
Oh, you're right, because Google's one that failed at it. Was it Stadia, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, they tried Google Stadia.
I didn't even know about it until they said like it's shutting down. It's going bye. I go like, what is that? Like I had to look into it, like, oh, they had a gaming platform. Like, holy shit, I didn't know about that. Thank God I didn't put any like, you know, money into it. Like, I would have just gotten fucked on that.
And I can't remember. I think it was Stadia where they're like, we're gonna probably just refund really anything and everything that's under the sun that we can and should, because it did not work out.
There was a time frame. Yeah, if you bought something, whether it's like controllers and games at a certain time when they announced it to closure, they were gonna refund you.
Yeah. And, you know, not sadly for a lot of us, we all saw the writing on the wall that this wasn't going to work. It was Google after all, but if it doesn't work, they're not even going to keep it around for a full year to find out.
They just kill that shit. They see it. Like, why put more money in something that's failing? Just to what? To, I don't know, continue drowning? Makes no sense. And then,
like
yeah.
Microsoft right now is looking at the point where they could
oh boy,
easily almost become a publishing company as well.
I mean, I don't know, like I feel like they have like issues on their own, kind of thing.
Yeah,
where
I mean,
it's like, you're not doing anything of your own. You're just like, you're kind of like gobbling up everybody to do it for you. And it's like,
right.
Well, that's not really doing the job. You're just paying somebody to do the job for you.
Yeah. And the problem is, that game development cycle that I mentioned, it takes so fucking long that you can drop $69 billion on a company, but how long before you even start seeing returns on something like that? Especially when your reliance will also be on the Call of Duties, like I mentioned, that are supposed to come out every year and everything like that. I mean, you can rely on, King or Blizzard, but I mean, also if they're not actively putting out new titles, and the only place that you're really going to put those new titles, and now the controversial thing where Hellblade 2 is only going to be a digital release, like you're making very strange decisions.
Everybody's making strange decisions. Like, I think, what was it? Epic Games said that if Alan Wake 2 makes, I think maybe you said it, if it makes enough money, they'll release physical copies. I don't know.
I hope they do. I mean, and
which I don't know what number they're thinking for in order to do that. Where it's like, it should be physical, like, because
at this point what will probably happen.
I don't know what you're gonna do with that.
No, probably once both DLCs come out, they'll end up likely doing a physical Game of the Year edition, which at that point everybody's already bought it. Like, nobody's going to want to double dip for another $70.
No. And, I'm going to put my 2 cents in, like, with these Epic Games jackass CEO. I play the games. I'll play Epic Games, but the asinine thing that he said was like, because I think someone asked him, like, oh, how come Fortnite's not on Steam? Like, you're kind of missing out on that. And I'm pretty sure it's because of the turmoil between the two publishing companies. And he just comes out and says, like, well, there's just not enough people. Well, if you say you're going to be on it, then maybe the people will come. Right. You give people more of an option.
Yeah, you can't tell me that there's not enough people on Steam. And I mean,
like, what?
And the PC gaming market is so strange to me. Like, I'm sure you have your real Steam heads who will never go over to Epic, but then in the end, the people that buy games on Epic, where were they buying their games before? They were buying their games on Steam, or they were trying to go like to GOG or CD keys or things like that. But I mean, the large market for PC gaming has lived on Steam for the longest time. Yeah, and you have a Steam Deck. There's no Epic Store Deck or anything like that. Not yet, at least. I guess.
I was thinking that too. Yeah, I was just like, well, I was just thinking like, okay, so you're gonna say no to like more revenue, more potential revenue, like more income, like you're gonna just flat out say no because what? You guys are having a dick measuring contest,
right?
See who can swing the biggest? Like, I don't think it's just like, I think it's just the gaming world in general. Like when the whole fucking, we're taking Microsoft to court because we can't let them fucking buy Blizzard Activision, and everybody fucking shows up. And meanwhile, they're getting cross-examined from the people that are hoping that we're going to be on their side,
right?
With examples of what they're doing too, practices regarding for their first-party properties, and how they're also not really sharing it. And Nintendo is just like, we're backing the fuck up.
We're done.
We're not even showing up. Like, you do whatever you want to do with that property. Just throw a little bit our way, and we'll say yes.
Yeah, let Phil Spencer make the decision to put Xbox games on Nintendo. I don't care. But
well, I was gonna say, I think what it was, they worked out a deal to finally put Call of Duty on Switch, which I don't know what that's gonna do. we already seen what Batman, what the Batman games
Oh my
are
God.
looking like on Switch,
Yes.
and we're seeing the
Yeah.
disaster of the Master Collection, which is like PS2, PS3 games
Yeah.
that can't even survive on there. I'm like, oh god,
Right.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like it's outdated. Like Nintendo was like, all right, I know you're like a steam engine, like, you know, the old trains.
Yeah.
You're sturdy, but you get there. Okay, now it's
Yes.
time to like fucking upgrade. Like we don't want to do steam anymore. Like, let's get out of
No.
coal. How about we want fucking bullet train? Like, how about we get to that point?
Yeah. I mean, I think what would almost serve in a lot of these companies' favors is it's almost really time to drop these exclusives. I mean,
Yes.
you know,
Come on.
the fact that Starfield alone is exclusive to Xbox is all right. It's Starfield. I'll admit it's Starfield. It's a janky game, but it's that Bethesda jank that everybody knows, and that Bethesda game would have sold just like, you know, it would have sold huge numbers had it just been dropped everywhere else.
Oh, for sure.
And you know, we can't. Most of the modern game days, modern day games, you know, they're releasing as cloud versions on the Switch. And if all of this is true that people have seen, you know, this next Nintendo console will run at a PlayStation 4 level, which I'm sorry seems a lot like a regular Switch now. So they'll still handicap themselves, I think. And it's a strange thought, and one that I've never had before this moment, but one thing that would almost serve like these two major PC gaming models is to almost drop a version of itself on a console.
Okay.
You know, they will never do it. That is not on my 2024 bingo card. But say that Steam or Epic released an optimized version of their platform on consoles that, you know, you can plug a mouse and keyboard into your new consoles. You've been able to do that for ages.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's not like the accessibility is not there, and with that, you likely wouldn't have to remap much. I'm talking out of my ass now, because I would imagine that the keyboard functionality on, you know, an Xbox or a PlayStation is 100% straight over to a PC. You know, for God's sakes, the Windows button isn't going to do anything, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it could, you know, it could. You know, these companies have the ability to do so, and it's just another way that they could pick up added revenue, because there's not much aside from your weird Steam hentai games or your strange like PC small like puppet combo games. Like, you've got all these Steam streamers or the YouTube screamers that are playing these games that kids would love to have on console, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're stuck watching. And I guess, you know, if you wanted to then eat into YouTube's revenue, you could just be like, well, instead of watching it, you could actually play it, because your parents aren't going to pay $2,000 for you to have a fucking PC.
I can't even see like a parent like buying like the new Steam Deck OLED
Right.
versus a Switch. It's like, when you see the Switch, you go like, well, that's more kid friendly versus
Yes.
the Steam Deck, which is true when it comes to like the user interface and everything, because it's basically like a portable PC. You can even go
Sure.
in the desktop mode and connect to a keyboard, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
shit, like, okay, so you can't do that with the Switch, really, and so there's got to be some middle ground here. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's concentrating on that, really.
No. I mean, it's almost time to drop the PC master, and there will be no drops between console wars and PC master race, but at least if you could find a way to bridge that gap, like,
Yeah.
there is money to be made there.
Mm.
And you have people like the main guy for Ubisoft streaming, or the, you know,
Oh,
Ubisoft
yeah.
Plus, that's like, gamers
This
need to get
fucking
used to
guy.
not owning their games. Like, no,
Mhm.
that's not the route to take. So what you do is you drop a bigger platform on top of it and just say, fuck you, we own our games.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's strange thing is the fact that we live in 2024 and the console wars are just as big as they've ever been. Like
Yeah.
Sega and Nintendo was probably huge back in the day, but they didn't have Twitter or Threads or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or anything like that back in the day. You know, there wasn't some guy named fucking Jeremy in his denim jacket back then shouting online. But here we are, and it's still like, you know, there's an Xbox developer thing that's happened today, and I've not yet had the time to watch it. But of course, you're going to have people on both sides that are saying Xbox is great, and then Xbox sucks. So who knows? Like, the fact that it's still ongoing and it's rumored, you know, like I said, for Xbox to do publishing, and it's like, as in one way, that's a big win for Xbox to see, like Sega has already. Like, Sega isn't making consoles anymore.
No.
Sega hasn't made consoles since 2001. And, you know, the fact that they have still thrived through being a publishing company and, you know, probably in part a development company. I can't recall all that Sega's actually had their hands in these days, aside from, and fuck, I don't even know if they still have Yakuza. I'm sure they do. But like, they may have lost the console war in the fact that they're not still making consoles, but they didn't die.
No.
Like,
Yeah, that's true.
you know, and I'm sure that as much as Xbox could become a publisher, they won't do things like Game Pass everywhere, right? Because that would not work for them in the end. And if anything, it'd be more insightful to say, well, if you wanted to play this game for free with a subscription fee, could have just bought an Xbox.
Yeah. And that's probably what Microsoft is like angling with a lot of these titles, where it's like, well, you can play on that game, or you can come, you know, go on Xbox and have a subscription and just play it without paying the big price tag, whatever, $59.99 or $69.99 kind of thing. Which,
you know,
it does look more appealing when you think about it, like game wise. I can't afford like $67 a pop, and like, what if you have like a month like October where it's like, oh shit, 3 games just came out, like, fuck, well, which one do I pick?
You know, Lies of P, I'll think about right now, because that's, you know, one of my favorite games of last year. I would have probably never bought it because I wouldn't have wanted to take the risk on not liking or anything like that. Got it on Game Pass several months after it was released, and then, you know, fucking loved it. And sadly, what I'm not is one of those guys who's going to play a game on Game Pass, beat the game, and then be like, well, the developers deserve some money, so I'm going to drop $60 on it. I just beat it. I'm not going to play it again. So as much as I could have, you know, I'm kind of retro paying for what I just finished. At the same time, my wallet doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, and I don't know if Microsoft's banking on it, going like, well, maybe we won't put all their games on Game Pass this way. We'll tell the publishers, like, give people a little taste, and they're like, oh, you like that game? Check out the rest of their catalog that are on the store. You may want to look at.
You know what I have done, and Starfield is the example for that, is when Starfield was coming out, and they did, if you had Game Pass, you could pay $30 and get like the Ultimate Edition. So that not only could you start it 3 days early, but then you get all of the DLC with it. Like, if they start doing things like that, I'd be more incentivized. I'd feel incentivized to pay for it, because it's a Microsoft published game. It's never going to get taken off. But something like Lies of P, again, finished, they'll take it off sometime, and I won't be heartbroken.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be heartbroken for the people who had not gotten the chance to play Lies of P or something like that. But at the same time, I'm done with it. I'm not going to. Or they'll hope that when DLC starts coming out, that then people would buy it. You know, something like that. But
yeah,
you know,
like, get tempted to purchase it. Yeah.
Right. You know, the strange model of third parties dropping their games day one on Game Pass still doesn't, for the long, they usually last a long time. But in the end, they're not on there forever.
No, No, it's usually like some of them they give them a pretty long, like kind of like leeway time.
Yeah.
Being on there, like I think the most I've seen maybe was like 6 months. It was
Probably
like half a
Yeah.
year. And I think that was like when it was like first kind of like they were really trying to get people to pay attention and like come and look at the Game Pass. Like, hey, check it out. You know,
Right.
we have a subscription service for this. Like, check out all the titles that you can just download right into your systems,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
And then the other problem with that is games are so fucking big.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I should sometime upgrade my PlayStation hard drive, but at the same time, I'm not likely to do that anytime soon because not only is a new hard drive like $100+, but
Mhm.
I'm not playing everything on it.
No,
You know,
yeah.
I got the Xbox storage on sale because I have Game Pass. I don't have PlayStation Plus. But you know, game sizes are fucking huge.
It's
Baldur's Gate 3, fucking huge.
because I don't know from the like technical background, like the reason why it's so massive. Because like there are games out there where they don't take all this storage space, but I don't know maybe because
Right.
like it's just not as what's the word I'm trying to think. Fuck.
I mean,
Full?
you have, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, or
I don't know, full
or
of
they're just
content?
not.
Yeah.
they're not as optimized, I guess. Like the fact that Tears of the Kingdom is not 100 GB download is fucking insane.
Mhm.
Like, sure, it's not running at 4K 60 frames per second, but the game itself is massive, and the systems in that game are also just fucking ludicrous. And then you look at games like Baldur's Gate 3, also massive. Systems are ludicrous, but it is running at a 4K 60, or probably not 4K and 60, but I mean, it has the ability to run at 4K and it has the ability to run at 60. So, I mean, it's fucking insane, the disparity between all of these consoles and the way that developers can do things. But you know, you've got a Switch thing that's this big, and you have a 4K Blu-ray disc that you would assume likely has differences in storage. But how much of these games, and the Switch is the perfect example for this part, like how much of these games are actually on those chips or discs? Because of course a lot of Switch games like you buy, and a lot of them these days are just saying it's a method of downloading it.
Yeah.
You're still downloading something off the store. The only thing that you have is a physical case with a physical cartridge, but you're still downloading everything. I think that's how the Arkham trilogy was when they dropped that on Switch.
Yeah, it was similar to like that Doom collection they had for the Switch
Yeah.
too, where it's like you had like a part of the game, and then there was like game content that also had to be
Right.
added on top of that.
Right.
Because I'm trying to think, like I know for my Steam Deck it does that where it shows like two separate bars. One is for the actual game and one's for the game content, and they
Yeah.
kind of like download at the same time. But it's a lot when I look at it. Like holy shit, like, there's a lot of fucking storage is eating up, and like maybe I would want to like talk to someone who's like an engineer and ask them like, are you guys like not optimizing storage? Are you guys like not really?
Right.
Is money not being put into, hey, you know, this is a lot of storage. Can we try to, you know, compress it down, like bring it down more? Is there a
Yeah.
way to work it, or maybe there isn't a way to work it? Maybe that would hinder the performance of the games themselves. I
Right.
don't know. That'd be something I would like. I think everybody would like to know, like, why are these fucking games so fucking much?
Yeah.
And then they come around and go like, well, you could buy storage, like, and you fucking,
Yeah, I don't
like, I can't afford that. Like, what the fuck?
I don't want to do that. Yeah, like we basically bought, you know, our son a hard drive for the Xbox because he's got like the Series S, so it's, you know, it's half the storage size anyways. But you know, with half the storage size, you can't have multiple games and Call of Duty on there at the same time. Like that's just ludicrous. You know, you look at, and I'm not going to shit on game developers here. This is not what the statement is. But you look at a lot of the games these days, and you know that assets are shared. You know, like for instance, in an area that I'm in right now in Baldur's Gate 3, I'm standing in a place that has 9 barrels, exact same barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. that seems I don't want to say it sounds insane from a technical standpoint or a visual standpoint, but it does seem strange that you do know that assets from one zone to the next do get shared. I don't expect one barrel in one place to be 100% different from a barrel in another place. So you'd think that an asset like that that's not where your space is coming from. And Baldur's Gate 3 is maybe not the best thing to make like the example of, because of course that game has 14,000 endings and 900,000 lines of dialogue and every other instance of things that you can never fucking dream of that nobody's ever going to see except for you and one other asshole, maybe, depending on how you play. But I mean, Call of Duty's just every update being 25 to 50 gigabytes. It's like, holy shit, what am I doing here? So
yeah, I want to say like 10 years ago, people are probably saying like we're gonna get to a point where when you see these games, a lot of them are gonna be running off like the popular things like Unreal Engine or like whatever else. I can't.
Right.
That's the most popular thing I can think of off the top of my head. And so like, we're at that point right now where like, yeah, games do run on that kind of engine, because you know what? When it comes to basically money, it's going to cost a lot to develop your own engine, put the time and effort and the manpower into it. So yes, do a little bit of the shortcut there, but then you're also going to like change the gameplay. It's going to be, different, whatever story. You're going to make it work, basically. Like, you're going to make it work for you and showcase it.
Yeah. Like the Resident Evil engine had, 5 or 6 games under it before they finally were. Yeah. And I think it's going to be the next Resident Evil game that comes out, whatever it is. That is the one that they'll finally iterate on that engine on. Mm-hmm. Unreal's a perfect example. I mean, almost everything under the sun these days has some level of Unreal on it. I just, admittedly, we're not game developers. We're old men, yelling at clouds almost. But it just, it's so weird to think that if you made a console that has a terabyte hard drive in it, what is the absolute cost difference between you of making a console with a 2 terabyte, hard drive in it? But then I guess at that point, what we're looking at is even worse than we are right now, is then you have 3 revisions of consoles that come out, because as much as the PlayStation digital only and PlayStation disc, run off the same innards, let's say, has the same processors and GPUs, you're still at a cost of no disk drive and less hard drive space, which you'd almost expect to be a worse trade-off. But that's the old man yelling at clouds at me. And then you have the Xbox Series S with the 500 gigabytes, all digital, less power, and then, at least in one regard. And then you have the Series X with 1 terabyte, more powerful. But what could have been the cost difference to bolster that console storage even more?
And that's
because
go ahead.
you look at hard drive costs, and it's $150. Like $150 for a terabyte, which, keep in mind, is going on sale off and on all the time. Yes. So at what point do you actually draw that cost?
Yeah, and I think I saw it a couple of days ago, like I forgot where, but like I'm gonna say an Asian company just released a 2 terabyte micro SD card. So like, yeah, we're going beyond like even for that small amount, like for a micro SD card, we're going beyond the terabyte, which I thought terabyte would be like the biggest you could do. Like, nope, there's 2 terabytes, which means next up, here we go. Is it 3? Is it 5? Like, how? Right. Where are we going? And I think that's why Microsoft is putting so much money into cloud gaming, because they're going to get to a point where saying, we don't want to put that more cost to the consumer. We're gonna come off as like heroes, but really what we want to do is control everything, control all like the materials that you're using, control the media that consumers are digesting, copyright licensing, all that shit. Like, they're not heroes. They're gonna make them people believe they are. Right. Fucking what's his name again? Phil Spencer. He's gonna come out with his fucking t-shirt. Oh yes, I'm like one of you. I wear a t-shirt. I'm like
Yeah.
regular man. Like, no, fuck
I
off,
wear a
man.
t-shirt.
Come out here in a
with ours
suit.
video
All right,
games.
you're a businessman.
Yeah.
He's gonna come out and fucking an announcement with probably at the Las Vegas Sphere, talk about how they're gonna go cloud gaming.
Yeah. He'll play Halo on the Sphere or something. I mean, yeah, that opened up the other avenue. Like, you remember when games like Burnout and stuff like that would actually have not in-game ads, but your billboards were, of course, all representative of the real world businesses. Of course, that's what you can then do with clouds. Like you said, you can control with clouds, with cloud technology. Of course, you can control what actually gets put and dropped in that game. And the whole, we've had this talk before, but I mean, like the terrifying thing about cloud-driven gaming or gaming via streaming is not going to work for the Midwest people.
Nope.
It's like whenever they said that your Xbox One always had to be online. Like, no, it's the motherfuckers in Iowa that are like, no, it's not. You can't do that.
And you know what could have solved this issue? Because this was like, I think a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, where I saw on social media where an AI company is a company that does AI is gonna invest into making the real world Ready Player One shit.
Yeah.
And so, what could have saved everybody? Because that movie was also based, I think, like in Columbus, Ohio. Steven Spielberg should have been like, all right, it's Columbus, Ohio. The fucking internet's not gonna be that great. Let's have these people stutter a little bit in this world that they're in. Like,
yeah.
And that would have been like, oh, fuck that. Like, hold on. I just saw a Steven Spielberg movie. They stuttered. I don't want that shit.
Yeah.
Take it back.
Well, it could have made that point even better is if they were just stuck with the original city. Because if I recall correctly, Ready Player One itself was actually like Oklahoma City where the kid lived. That would have definitely made your point.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, it's just I'm tired of half consoles. I'm tired of half console lives. I don't want to buy a Microsoft Xbox XX. And I don't want to buy a PlayStation 5.5. Like,
yeah.
I bought I bought the Pro, but I bought the Pro for like $100 because GameStop did some Uber trade deal, and GameStop's not that relevant these days to be able to offer that kind of trade-in. Nor does GameStop have the bandwidth now, if they would want to, that they could actually do that. But it's not like your Best Buys or your Targets or your Walmarts are going to say, well, if you want to bring in your old one, you can take your hard drive and transfer all that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And, pay a smaller fee. No, instead, it's just going to be, now you're stuck with 2 boxes and you hope that you can sell one on the Facebook Marketplace.
That's another thing. Like, GameStop's probably going to be like quaking in their boots with all this like digital and cloud. They're probably going to do is like change up their, I mean, if you want to survive, you're going to have to adapt and like maybe, hey, all that shit that you had, I imagine you still have warehouses full of like retro stuff, because they do have a retro thing on the website. You might have to bring that to your storefront and maybe add additional services, like do like a Geek Squad kind of thing, but for games, gaming consoles, like, clean them, replace whatever, hard drives, motherboards, whatever. Do whatever you gotta do to survive. Present yourselves as a whole new business venture that involves the gaming world. That's the only thing way I can see it, because if it does go cloud, goodbye. I mean, Best Buy took away all their like fucking DVDs and movies.
Oh my god,
they're like, goodbye, people who fucking wanted to buy this shit physical. Like, get that on Google or Apple.
Yeah, I'm sure at one point or another, like, physical games will be next, sadly. At that point, what it's going to be, and I think we even touched briefly on this, like on the Adam and Sam of the Disco, because we did have the Best Buy physical DVD and CD and Blu-ray talk. But there will probably come a point where they get rid of video games, physical video games, but they'll likely still hold on to like consoles, controllers, headsets, things like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, how fucking sad will it be that when you go to buy your PlayStation 6, for instance, at Best Buy, you're not going to be able to buy a physical game to take home with it?
Probably not. I mean, well, like everybody else is doing, it's like, well, do you really want to buy a disk drive when you can get the diskless one. And oh, by
Right.
the way, maybe we'll put more storage into those
Yeah.
as the trade-off.
Yeah. You saved $100 by buying the diskless version, but if you maybe they'll drop $150 on a terabyte hard drive, so they'll really only have 500 gigabytes more than they would have originally. But good God, it's a weird part, like a weird time for games right now.
It's a complete 180 versus when I first started playing games. I was like, I had a computer as a kid, and it was like, the fucking Apple II, and that's like back in the day. And my first actual real console was a NES. So
Yeah.
I mean, I had physical stuff, and I worked with the limitations that it came with,
Right.
but not to this point where you can't have, right now the games are so big, maybe you can't have more than 5 titles on your
Right.
system, and that's I should have like maybe 10 or a dozen.
Yeah. And like back in the 360 PlayStation 3 era, like games online, digital only games were not to this level unless they had basically been released separately. Like, you remember when Xbox Arcade started,
Oh yeah.
and that had things like Aegis Rim and weird 2D like Peggle and Zynga, and not Zynga, that's a social media thing, but like, it had, it essentially had games that you would buy on your computer that you would pay like $4 for, and then here instead on an Xbox you're paying $10 for it. And now, like, in that day, you would not have had a Alan Wake 2 level of game releasing digital only in that era.
And I remember Xbox Arcade was a little sneaky where they put Earthworm Jim HD.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about it until after it was delisted. And I was like, oh, come on. I was like, no, don't do that. It's like, I love Earthworm Jim back when I was a kid. I was like, bring it back. So thank God I found a workaround with the Steam Deck. But like, that sucked for like a good couple of years. Where it's
Sure.
like, fuck, how do I play this game? Like, I can't get it.
Yeah. Just emulate.
That's what I ended up doing.
But none of these consoles, unless you completely jailbreak them, and who really without confidence is going to do that, you're not opening yourself up to much. We are now more than ever wholly and completely just stuck at the behest of developers and publishers, mainly publishers. I mean, they're the ones that are choosing how to release these games, but GTA 6 isn't going to be a game that drops digital only.
No.
I mean,
I don't think they would go that route because they know it would sell.
Yeah, and that's what makes it
amount.
That's what makes it so interesting for Xbox to go this route for their next major highly anticipated first party game is going to be digital only. And at that point, I'm sure a lot of people who own Xboxes, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I would think that a lot of people who have Xbox Series consoles likely have Game Pass.
Well, because I don't even think Microsoft, or I say Xbox, because they're kind of separate entities, releases those figures. Like I think they just say like, well, we're healthy.
Yeah.
We have healthy amount of users.
I think it was like 2020 or 2021 is basically when they stopped releasing like actual Game Pass numbers.
Yeah, because they're getting ridiculed for that. Yeah,
right. Like at this point, really, what they do most now is like when a game comes out, Starfield, for instance, it's like, well, we had this much engagement time on release day or release weekend or in the first week or something like that. But in the end, that could be 200 assholes playing 100 hours of the game. Like,
well, they also learn, like, from all that ridiculed and being like, oh, look at their numbers, are so weak. They learn and looked at like, oh, look at Netflix, look at all these other streaming platforms.
Right.
They're not releasing their numbers because that will reflect on their business, and also it would mess with basically their stock price as well.
Right.
In regards to like how well they're doing. Like, no, that's gonna be our information and shareholders' information.
Yeah.
kind
You
of
know,
thing.
what they'll do is say 2 million people downloaded Starfield and played Starfield, but they're not
Yeah.
going to say 2 million out of the 18 million that are subscribed. The same as Netflix, you know, will be like, well, this is now the highest watched show of all time, and then you're the,
Yep.
you know, Wednesday was the most watched show, and it's like, I didn't watch that, and I know probably 50,
Exactly.
you know, a couple hundred other people, I would think, that probably have not. So who the hell knows? I mean, nobody wants to report accurately, except for PlayStation, who really just loves touting their numbers, like without question. I am curious to see what their post looks like come Friday or Monday after The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered comes out. And it's like, well, we've sold 10 million
God.
copies of this thing, but keep in mind that 7 million of this could have actually been the people that already own the game and actually paid for the $10 upgrade. But
Yeah.
10 million people sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, if you try to look for, that's like the new gossip column, is like all these like headlines in regards to like how much they sold, where it's like, oh, if you told me
Yeah.
10 million, and I go like, well, that's one of your biggest IPs, I would be snarky, I would say like, well, you should really have sold 20 million.
Right. Yeah.
Like, let's get the old the people who've played it already, and then try to get the newcomers as well.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
because this isn't, no disrespect to the topic of the podcast, but it's not.
Mhm.
Death Stranding's director's cut is likely to not touch the numbers of the last part, like The Last of Us
no.
Part 2 Remastered will. And it of course offered the same thing. I bought my PlayStation 5 late. I realized, hey, after I canceled the PlayStation Plus subscription that I had for like 2 months so I could play Stray,
Mhm.
it was like I could still pay $10 and get Death Stranding director's cut, which I will, inevitably go back to sometime to play the content exclusive missions. But I mean, it doesn't carry that much pull. Like, it doesn't have that level of sway to it as an IP.
Yeah, because I don't remember like the exact figure number, but I think maybe it was like, I think they hit a certain amount of users in the game for Death Stranding,
Right.
And that also involves a director's cut as well. And
Yeah.
it just didn't sound like something to like kind of celebrate about. Like yeah, that's a good number, but
Right.
like I don't know if you really want to like start talking about that.
Yeah.
All right, that was great. Let's not put too much attention on that. Like, let's look forward towards the future. Like, we want to
Yes.
get people to come and play these games. Kind of thing.
Right. Like, I played the Resident Evil 7, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intergrade on PlayStation in the 2 months, that I mentioned that I had PlayStation Plus, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's also a $10 or $20 upgrade. But then you've also got people like publishing, like Valhalla, for instance, just dropping free DLC that seems to be massive. But how do you measure engagement on that? You're obviously not going to be measuring the price because there is none. But at that point, what makes then what drives the cost of your DLC? So I don't know. I'll be the asshole, of course, that drops the $10 because I want to try No Return and I want to play these lost levels because I'm one of those people that truly did love The Last of Us Part 2. I think it's a fucking phenomenal, groundbreaking game, not only in story but in actual like gameplay. It's interesting. I find a lot of the decision that these publishers do. You don't get a lot of Xbox games, period. I'll be the asshole that says period. But then you also don't get a lot of Xbox games, aside from maybe like Sea of Thieves, which is a live service game, that are dropping massive updates like this, either for free or $10 charge.
That's a perfect example because like you don't get like information from these companies, and the only information that, if you really want to deep dive, because if you're not like an insider or if you don't know anybody truly that knows these figures, you have to go by their quarterly reports.
Yeah.
And it would say like, and it's not gonna tell you everything. It's just gonna tell you like how much they made, what are they putting into, and what are they forecasting going towards.
Yeah.
And that's the only way. Like, you know, I remember like the whole like, you know, maybe like 2 years ago where people were going to like ape shit for like a game that never came to be. I forgot, Abandoned, and people were like, "That's the whatever it could be, Silent Hill. That's the next Metal Gear." Like okay, hold on. I'm like, all people who are trying to make money off of that. Like, I'm like, no. Like, let me go on the website Konami and download the report, and I go like, during that time, they were still heavily investing in mobile and gambling machines.
Yeah,
like they weren't even going back to gaming, and it said in the report that unless they don't see a return on investments in these fields, they will have to go back to games, which they did.
Yeah,
but it was not going to happen like till years later. Like that's what the whole thing. I was thinking to myself like, before everybody starts like throwing names at the wall and see what sticks, like how about we actually look at these things? But a lot of times these companies will not be forthcoming, and you kind of do like, you got to do the boring homework work,
right?
You know, you got to be the adult and do the boring shit, which is not sexy. It's not the thing to do, you know, for fucking people in this world. And it's like, well, if you want to be responsible and not be an asshole who's just like taking people's money and just running away with it, that's what you got to do. If you want the knowledge, go seek it. It's out there.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, and you know, most of us common gaming schmoes aren't going to try and get into the minutia of finance or economics when it comes to these companies, and what we're going to try and do is take it off of a wholly completely biased Twitter username. You know, like there's a guy that does a lot of the reporting on Take-Two because he loves the Rockstar side of Take-Two, but it's like, okay, so while you're reporting all of this, you're still trying to find ways to, you know, not spread actual infatuation while you're still sprinkling it in, of course, because you want to find that one sentence that they're going to say about numbers that Grand Theft Auto is doing or something like that. So interesting. I mean, even the gaming realm has heavy loads of misinformation.
Oh God, like any world you dip your toes into, there's just like, you have to go through the muck to see like the real nuggets of info. Kind of shit. And it's you know what it is, a lot of people are like, especially people who consider themselves journalists in the gaming world, they're not really journalists. They're just people who are like pretty much like advertisers disguising themselves as journalists. They have no ethics. I can understand, like, yes, everybody has a job, they need money, they have to pay the bills, but there's ways to do about it. You can be ethical and do it the right way. It requires a little bit of extra work. Yeah, that's probably what scares you. Or you can just do the lazy way and try to cash in quick.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, your YouTube channels who are getting their free copies of video games for previews or getting the ability to do previews are, and I can't, you know, can't fully speak for everybody, but anybody who's, let's say, a FromSoft fan who gets the ability to preview a FromSoft game, chances are they're still stuck on the fact that they are in the position to be playing this FromSoft game early, right?
Yeah.
Like there is a level of fandom and bias in anything. You know, people, it's where the term bandwagoning comes from. It's where the term bias comes from, period. Yeah. Like once you are ingrained in that part of the culture, it's hard to see exactly where somebody's going wrong and how they are. But I mean, I think let's maybe ride on people who love Rockstar again. You know, the fact that when you can fucking see that Rockstar chose to roll heavy on GTA Online as opposed to dropping GTA 5 DLC, single player DLC, or the only game that they've released since then is Red Dead Redemption 2, which they did not fully support the online for that because they knew where their cash cow was, and instead could have made, you know, they could have finished their Agent game, they could have come out with Bully 2, they could have chosen to do more DLC. or a fucking modern console upgrade for Red Dead Redemption 2, but instead they just chose to sit on their laurels. That is Grand Theft Auto Online. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we're sitting on now, this will be the 11th year of Grand Theft Auto 5 being somehow supported and played by people. Like, those are numbers that you would not have expected from anything but fucking World of Warcraft and like Final Fantasy 11 or 14, depending on which MMO they chose to support. And it's not,
Oh boy.
you know, I can't imagine that like Grand Theft Auto Online is telling some elaborate story. I'm sure it has a story mode, but I'm sure it does not have the level of in-depth lore or cares, maybe going to be harsh, you know, the level of lore or meaning to the world and platform like a standard MMO would.
Yeah.
You know, like World of Warcraft is about to set off on another trilogy of expansions when people would have already expected, I feel like we're approaching 2 decades of World of Warcraft. Like, people would have expected World of Warcraft 2 by this point, if not 3. But, you know, I just,
Yeah.
it's strange that, you know, it costs money to make money, but also, and it's again going to be harsh, but there's also a level of greed that comes with that money, where if you're not listening to what your fan base, and nobody's going to listen to an entire fan base, look at Star Wars, look at Metal Gear Solid specifically, nobody's going to listen to an entire fan base and take it as gospel. But, you know, when you have, and you're a development company looking at Reddits, Twitters, Facebooks, Instagrams, things like that, and you see people say, I want Bully 2, I would buy Bully 2, people would probably buy Bully 2. Or people would pay the $20 to get Red Dead Redemption 2 on new consoles, get it 60 frames per second at 4K. But instead, we're just stuck on what we can sell shark cards and shit like that for, because it gives us $20.
I don't even think they even said like what they're gonna. I imagine like that online is gonna have to like either be shut off, or you're not gonna transfer to the new game, like, because it's a whole entire. It's been, you could see it, like you could see like people have been doing like comparisons, like you know, with the graphics and when it comes to 5 and 6, and it's like you basically by leaps and bounds it's completely changed, because it's been such a long time. Like it's I don't know what they're gonna do like online in regards. Like, I imagine like, are you gonna start a new one? Why not?
So it was just today
Okay.
that a part of, so GTA Online will be ending support for the Rockstar editor on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So I don't know how many people on those consoles were still engaging with that, but that is a major system of those games, of that game on any console, that is now going to just be dropped, and all clips will be deleted. So, really,
I like that part.
what is likely to happen is, I would imagine they get, I mean, let me say this. All support, all new content for GTA 5 will either end a year after GTA 6 or have ended when GTA 6 comes out. They will stop making new content. I'm not going to say stop supporting. They will continue to patch and iterate. But at that point, also, if you stop supporting it with new content, your patches will have already been up to date, aside from what weird people find a glitch. At that point, then, you patch it. That's your support. But you're not going to be adding in, like, here's your new car and 14 different yachts, nor will they be adding in new Franklin or Lamar missions. They will just be finding ways to keep it alive. And then probably within 3 to 5 years of GTA 6 being out, GTA 5 Online will die.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to do it. That's the perfect way to do it, because you would do is basically say like, well, this is open.
Yeah.
You can go in it if you like, There's not
Right.
going to be anything pushed from now
Yep.
on. And then when 6 comes out, here's the new sexy thing.
Yes.
Check it out, and we're gonna like
Yes.
probably lambast with like you have to make it outrageous in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Content. I don't know what you're gonna do, but it's got to be
Well-
like blowing it out of the water kind of thing.
Right. And no game does this, right? No game does something like this where they would have to come out with at least a quarter of content that GTA 5 had, that GTA Online through 5 had. You know, like Smite 2 just got announced a couple weeks ago, and one of the developers had literally said that if we wanted to bring every skin from Smite 1 into Smite 2, it would be literal, like, it would be hundreds of hours of development for them to do something like that. So you're not going to get your flying car from GTA line on day 1 for GTA 6. Like, you're not going to be looking at that. So it's going to be interesting. And I mean, will they likely do what they did with GTA 5 and release the online probably 6 months after the fact? I'd be surprised if they don't. I mean, because at that point,
Yeah.
what I'm sure a small hope is, and no business makes this kind of hope, but is that at least a part of the user base drops off. That way your day 1 servers aren't as congested. But then, of course, you get all your people that come back just to get more content. So, you know, by the time GTA Online originally came out, I had already 100% of the game. I didn't
Yeah.
fucking care. Like, I was done with GTA. Like, I played a little bit of GTA Online, but I didn't need to get my fix or anything like
No.
that. So,
Yeah, and seeing, you know, when it first came around, I think like maybe like a couple of months into it, I was like, maybe not a couple months, like maybe a year into GTA Online. I saw all the clips online on social media, and I was like, this is a terrifying world I am not entering. It's like, I just saw someone just get like fucking attacked by a jet. I was like,
yeah.
what the fuck? Like, I can't play in
Yeah.
that game. Like, am I
Right.
gonna walk around and just get picked off?
Yeah. And
With
then
the
you
missile?
respawn and get picked off again. Yeah.
Like, no. And I'm like, no.
No thanks. No thanks.
I would say like for me, it doesn't. There's nothing in it for me. Like personally, me as a gamer,
No.
I was never much into it. Online gaming, maybe the most I've done it was like a lot of like being like first person shooters and like
Sure.
back in the day, Gears of War, because it was pretty cool.
Right.
You had like a chainsaw attached to your weapon, kind of thing. But I really didn't dabble into it. Halo is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Halo 2, that's really when I was like heavy into online
Yeah.
gaming, but like I never did it for like a third person game like Grand Theft Auto. Like, I didn't see.
Right.
I was like, I want the official story. Like, I don't want this
Yeah.
off the beaten path and like kind of like weird amalgamation. It's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like
Sitting
what
in
if
lobbies.
stories. Yeah, I was like, nah, like, forget that. That's why I don't do
I mean-
Fortnite. I tried Fortnite for like 10 minutes and I was like, nah. I dropped the controller. I was like, I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Right.
It's like, I don't get it.
No.
And you're
I
trying
mean,
to
you
win
know-
me back with like Peter Griffin and like fucking Solid
Solid
Snake
Snake.
with
Yeah.
no ass. Like, no thanks.
Right. I
If
want that
there's-
dummy thick ass.
There's no ass. I'm not in there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you
I
know
mean-
you're gonna want to teabag with that ass.
Nah. No,
That's
there's no
like-
ass to do that with. No, you know, I wanted to get in the Sea of Thieves, but could never find anybody to engage on the
Okay.
same like timeline that I could. You know,
Yeah.
everybody with kids realizes how hard it is to try and put together a gaming group even for 2 hours. You know, because then at that point you want to go to bed, and so does your spouse, and so does your friend and their spouse, and all that. But yeah, I mean, you know, GTA Online is such a weird creation where it's an open world thing, but then if you wanted to do any of the content, you have to sit in a lobby and wait, and then hope that the lobby works, and then continue on with hopefully what turns out to be a decent mission or game, and nothing fails, or else you've just wasted 5 minutes, kind of like Fortnite in this instance that it's a battle royale, and you die and you reload and you move on to the next game. So
Oh shit.
I just strange. I mean, we'll see. Probably 2025. There's no way in hell, and I think that's what the release was on the trailer is 2025. So we've got another year, but we'll see if this is actually what people want rather than just a continuation of this weird satire that will thrive off of TikTok and social media posts for its comedy, which is something that, you know, old GTA would have actually made fun of and chosen to satire differently and maybe not go all in on.
Yeah, because when the trailer released, obviously here comes all the gamer bros and be like, ugh, yuck, a woman? Like, grow up, dude. Grow up, because like,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure like most like half of you guys are like playing online with
Yeah.
female skin. I was
Yep.
like, don't even start that. Like, I know the type of people you are. Like,
Yep.
shut up.
Yep.
I'm like, no, I want to hear the story. Like, this seems like an intriguing story. Like, yeah, like
Yeah.
in the setting, I was like, we're back into like in Vice City. Like, why not?
Right.
This sounds great. Like, it looks like present day, and
Yeah. Yeah, that blows me away that they chose to do another modern day game.
yeah, and
It's now
and-
3 in a row.
it's going to incorporate like social media within the game, which means like you're probably going to bury yourself even more.
Right.
I mean, I thought it was hilarious. Like the fucking what's his name? I think his name
Florida Joker.
No, he's from 5. Ned Luke, who I think
Oh,
was
yeah.
Michael.
Yeah.
I liked his reaction. Where it's like, there's a lot of ass in this game, and I go like, you're right,
Yeah.
there is, and
There is.
that's I've noticed like they put a lot of work into the physics of that. It's like, what
Yeah.
else is there? Like, if you're giving me that, I imagine like we're gonna have like a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Just from that
I mean,
tidbit alone, like,
right. I mean, this will be interesting to see the iteration of Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead 2 in some weird little merriment of a game. I mean, you don't have systems from both games and then just ignore them for your biggest fucking release that you'll ever have. I'm sure that game will make billions of dollars within its first week. There's no way that
Oh,
GTA
yeah.
6 cannot.
and
So,
it was only a teaser trailer. Like, it could change. Like, you know, we might actually. It could be like, yes, you could be playing this character, but then you could also possibly play a different character,
Right.
either co-oping or coinciding, or like, or
Yeah.
they just flip the script and be like, oh, you thought you were playing this person? No, this is just a character introduction.
right. Yeah. It seemed
thing.
like I think what the plan is that you'll have the two people in the relationship shown in that trailer, right? You'll have Jason and Lucia, I think. I can't remember exactly what her name is.
Yeah, no,
But
you
you'll
got
have those two as your likely protagonists that you'll be swapping back and forth. And I really hope they don't try and add in a third person. I mean,
a third person. Yeah.
well, a third protagonist, you know, because by the time that fucking Trevor came around, you're like, oh my god, not only is this map too big, but now I have to take care of all 3 of these people. Take care of, it's not like they're Sims, but you know,
Yeah.
now you have to monitor the lives and live the lives of these 3 separate people and 3 separate entities and 3 separate missions with 3 separate personalities, where it's like the only thing that they really have in common is that they just want to make a fucking shitload of money through the heist. But at least in this one, hopefully they can tell a good story while doing a 2-player swap. Yeah, I want to see many of the systems from Red Dead 2, like interacting with people in the world in that game, felt 100% different from interacting with people in Grand Theft Auto 5 for the better.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, I guess in Grand Theft Auto 5 or GTA 6 I don't need to walk by everybody and say hi, but you know, if I could, great. If I could choose to give them the finger, even better. Like,
Yeah.
so we'll see. I mean, damn, the game's gonna be fucking huge. Like, that's bound to happen. But
yeah, you can only imagine. Like, it's obviously going to be bigger, and like with bigger, more content, more story. I
Right.
imagine. God
Yeah.
knows what else, like stranger missions.
right, yeah,
That's where you kind of get like the little like crazy weird humor, or sometimes make it a little
Yeah.
freaky. I noticed for Red Dead 2, it got like part of the times, but also got like weird with
Yeah.
it as well, where it's like oh, like, I was playing and I was like, I stayed off social media, like I didn't want to know what was gonna happen, and I managed to, like, it was the middle of the night,
Yeah.
and I managed to stumble upon a clan meeting, and I go like, holy
Yeah.
fuck! I was like, we're doing this, like in the beginning of the game, like we're doing this now,
Yep.
and I'm not really that skilled, and I go like, well, you put me in a clan meeting, everyone's gonna fucking die.
Pretty much. Yep.
And I end up like killing the Grandmaster Wizard with my fist because I ran out of bullets.
Yeah. Or, like running around in Red Dead 2 and you'd find it, in the middle of the night, you'd find the random cabin that the fucking UFO would appear over.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
just weird shit like that. I mean, I hope. And what sucks is, in one way or another, they've never been able to fully embrace the weird with GTA.
Mhm.
I guess they've had like ghosts and stuff, so that's weird on a level, but they've never wanted to fully embrace, like, aside from my character did drugs, like they've never
Oh,
embraced
yeah.
that same level of strangeness.
I mean, it's it's like fictional Florida, so you can get like Florida weird
Oh, I know.
as well. Like I don't know what you can do with it. Like
Well, and like that's also where the satire, like the level of satire comes
Yeah.
in. Like laughing at Florida Man posts on Twitter is funny, but I don't know if I want to do that for 100 hours straight,
oh yeah.
But I guess in one regard, like if you chose to satirize America, of course Florida is going to be free game for everybody. You're not going to offend a lot of people by making fun of the strangeness of Florida, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's like different parts of Florida, so like there's
Well,
like,
it's true.
I mean, you can get to like Gator Country, get to like
Yeah.
I don't know, like
Will the game add in fucking Disneyland or Disney World, whichever?
oh,
one
I
is in
mean, you can
Florida?
do that, yeah, where it's like, hey, you want to go someplace where it's somewhat safe, where you're probably not gonna get like attacked or mauled
Yeah.
or God knows
Right.
what else that goes on in this world. Ride their version of Space Mountain kind of thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
complain about like how the ice cream is probably like over expensive. Like, oh shit, like what the fuck?
Right.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Put in Universal Studios in there somewhere. I mean, it'll be, and that's where the systems can come in, right? Like you add in these small little bits that, of course, you're going to drop in a big story mission where you go blow the fucking place up at one point or another. But at the same time, you just have these levels that just have these systems where you go and do dumb shit like mini games and ride carnival rides and stuff like that. I mean, there's ways to do this, but who knows? I mean, sometimes also more is more, and more is not going to get engaged with. Look at Baldur's Gate 3 again. Like I said, you'll have people that don't ever touch parts of it. So, and Rockstar has never struck me as a company that had been wanting to thrive off of those moments that not everybody's going to engage with, right? Like,
Yeah, no.
Rockstar makes games that they want everybody to see everything, and they have to see everything, or else they didn't do it all.
Yeah, because they do put a lot of money into their games, but I imagine
Oh, hell yeah.
in doing that, you also have the money people, like the accountants, are going overseeing, making sure every single cent and where is it going to, because
Yeah.
you're going to have to answer to the higher ups, you're going to have to answer to the stakeholders and the shareholders, and it's got to be a reason why, well, if this failed, it failed because of X, Y, and Z. We can't let
Yep.
that happen, kind of thing.
Right. Yep.
But I mean, with continuing with Rockstar Games, like I don't even remember, like, because I remember they announced that they were going to do Max Payne, was it 1 and 2 remaster?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think, right?
Remedy will do that with them.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think at that point, Rockstar. Well, and let me try and think about this logically here.
Yeah.
Rockstar through Take-Two will be the publisher, but I
Yes.
believe that most of the development will come from Remedy.
Yeah.
So
'cause-
they won't be using the iterations that
Mhm.
Rockstar has of the Rage engine, and I can't remember if that's what they're using anymore. But they'll be using like the Northlight engine that they've used
Mhm.
for Alan Wake and stuff like that.
which makes sense. Like you're gonna have to
Yeah,
change it up
speaking-
because those games
Yeah.
are like they're outdated, but they're still fun.
Oh hell yeah! I mean,
Yeah.
sadly, with the passing of James McCaffrey, it'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
what kind of route they take for their voice acting, because that is a voice that is so iconic. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
like that'll be the Max Payne fandoms, Kiefer Sutherland to
Mm-hmm.
David Hayter kind of level of thing. But I mean, just strange, but
I can only imagine, like, it seemed like maybe they were in some type of knowledge of his health, because they did do a lot in regards with James McCaffrey, like working wise. Like, I don't know
Right.
if they recorded already set recordings for it, or maybe they're doing a little bit of both. We have old, and then we're putting in new, and kind of blending of both. Because
Well,
it's gonna be new, so it can't. It's gonna look like Sam Lake still.
you're right. God, they it could give an Alan Wake and Alex Casey.
Yeah, since they did that.
It'll be I'll be interested to see come the Alan Wake 2 DLCs.
Mhm.
Will that have already been recorded, or will they find a way to not feature Alex Casey in there? But yeah, I mean, like you said, you can do the Sam Lake face and really trigger that bit of nostalgia, but what a hit it would be to try and use that face and not throw in James McCaffrey's voice. But he heavy in Control, heavy in Alan Wake 2.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, what level of awareness, if any, did that they have? Kind of like with Lance Reddick and Destiny 2. Like, it seems like Destiny 2 had some sort of, not really contingency plan in case he passed, but it does seem like they at least have a plan to still find a way to implement and use his voice for that character.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
at the
'cause-
same time, what's that going to be?
Yeah, because some companies are already already starting to kind of like buy out people's like voices and saying like, we're gonna keep, even when you pass, we're gonna keep everything that we have and
Right.
possibly use AI to continue using your voice further
Right.
on the road, and they're just signing off on the rights to that, to the
Yep.
person's likeness, voice, whatever they
Right.
produce. I think James Earl Jones may have done that with Disney already, in
That's-
regards to Vader and
I could see
his
that.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I can see that, because that is, you could get a voice actor, because I can imagine somebody out there could sound like him, but I guess they wanted to with everything we have, we own, possibly might go back. Let's just buy the rights to the voice already.
Right.
It's like, we can afford it. We have, Mr. Walt Disney's head in the bottom of, I don't know which park it is. Disney
Frozen
World
and
or
Swan Lake.
Disneyland, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he's under the castle. We have his head. He's
Yes.
frozen. There's a contingency plan. He's gonna wake up eventually,
Right.
in a new body, and it's probably gonna be what are they gonna call it? I don't know. Mecha Walt, Metal Gear
Yeah.
Walt. I don't know. Let's see.
He'll just be Mr. House from Fallout New Vegas.
But I mean, yeah, that's another thing where people with voice actors are pissed off at SAG-AFTRA.
Oh man, I can't blame them whatsoever. I mean,
I think people weren't in the know of what the deal really was, and probably just told them what they wanted to hear and be like, cool, let's pass it on to the next thing.
yeah. We'll
Oh,
find
boy.
ways to implement your voice more than ever, but what does that actually mean? Who knows? Not more jobs, because you'll just have the one and it'll be the same forevermore. What a fucking mess.
I mean, you got that. You got you got Kojima just basically scanning everybody that he comes across. And so I imagine he has a scan of Timothy Chalamet somewhere in his
Right.
studio.
Yeah.
For, I don't know what. Maybe for DS2. Who knows? Maybe
Right.
I'm going to see him but not hear him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just weird.
It's kind of hilarious how many of those posts that he'll be forthcoming with, and then you get stuff like Udo Kier and Hunter Schafer coming in for OD, and it's like, you didn't post about this anywhere, so it's like, what are you deliberately sharing and not? I mean,
maybe they don't know. Maybe they go hey, look at that orb, look at that station I have over there. You wanna? It's a picture station. Just go in there real quick.
yeah, right.
It's a picture. Don't worry. Just stay still.
Yeah. sit in that chair with 1,000 cameras around.
Turn
you.
around.
Don't think about it too much. Yeah.
Give me a 360 spin, please, very slowly.
Right. Yeah. T-pose for me, will you?
It's so odd. It's odd, but yet funny at the same time. Because
Yeah.
obviously, you're doing it with their consent. I just don't know
Yeah.
what it's for. So
Right.
and no one's saying. So I imagine like, okay, here's an NDA. You can't
Yep.
tell anybody we scanned you.
Yep.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Oh, I don't know.
Ludicrous.
Speaking of Timothy Chalamet, he's all like, Spider-Man 2 should have been Game of the Year. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Oh, you
How
mean the
old-
main
how old
character
are
of
you?
Lies of P? Yeah.
That was my main thing. I was like, weren't you in a game already? Like,
Yeah,
weren't you
no, I mean,
in Lies of P?
It's insane how much that character actually does look like him, especially in motion. And like, it's a silent protagonist, so it's like, yeah, it's definitely Timothy Chalamet. Like, there's no way around it. Your little Barbie doll, Timothy Chalamet, that you can put in whatever clothing you want. All right, Johnny, let's wrap this up. Let's try and find a hopefully better time to reconvene. That's not
Yeah.
a good month off.
Yes, we will try. Like, hopefully, we get this all squared away and scheduled to the next one.
Man, I'm telling you, winter time and high school and middle school sports is a schedule killer, really. So,
Oh shit.
but we will find time and get back together.
Yes, we.
Uh,
Go ahead.
Always appreciate coming on. Always love getting on here.
Oh, I enjoy these conversations. Like, it feels like if you ever want to know what Professor X and Magneto were talking about, this is what it feels like right here.
The level of fucking manity between them.
It wasn't about equal rights for mutant rights. It was, hey, let's talk shit about stuff that we gripe about and just
Yeah,
yell into the skies as old men.
pretty much. The
God damn
manic
it.
state of gaming.
And how we can't breathe in this world.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
kind of
We'll
thing.
all be nano machines by the time we're done.
Pretty much.
Hopefully with a bigger hard drive.
So yeah, thank you for coming back on, Adam, and hopefully
course.
we'll reconvene at a quicker pace
Yes.
and a better schedule.
Yes. Sooner dates.
Until then,
Thanks, Johnny.
no problem. Bye.